Now, before the season gets started, we're all going to have to wear our masks when we want to get into NBA stadiums. And the best place to go, our friends at Fanatics, chatsports.com/NBA mask. Whoever your team is, you can go pick them up today. You can get one, packs of 2, packs of 3, or packs of 4, so that when we're allowed to bring our friends and family into basketball games, you want to rep your favorite team, let your friends and family rep your favorite team, you can go get them today at chatsports.com/NBA mask. Everyone needs one. We all want to go to games again. This is the way to do it. So find your team, find the pack that you want the most, and go pick yours up today. Gordon Hayward has officially opted out of his $34 million player option with the Boston Celtics, something that nobody saw coming at the beginning of the offseason, but as time had passed, more and more reports came out of teams that were seriously interested in the veteran guard / forward. The Knicks are showing interest. There's still a possibility that the Boston Celtics say, hey, we'll re-up your contract and we'll give you a longer-term deal for a little bit less money. But a couple other teams have gotten in the mix as well, along with Boston and New York. The Atlanta Hawks are the number one team. I've talked about them a lot on this show and just about a possibility of a sign-in trade, but now I don't know, or just a trade in general if he had just opted in, but now I don't know if a trade's in the works or if Atlanta's just going to outright sign him because they have a lot of money. Like, too much money that they need to spend on somebody. The Indiana Pacers are a team that were very interested in a sign-in trade, but that doesn't look like it's, or excuse me, a trade assuming he opted in. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. A sign-in trade still in play that could involve Miles Turner, maybe Victor Oladipo. I wouldn't be surprised to see a third team get in the mix. And then, of course, the Knicks, they waived a ton of players. They have the money available to go out and get a Gordon Hayward who could step in and play that starting small forward role. And, if the Knicks went out and got Hayward and they roll out some kind of lineup of Frank Ntilikina, R.J. Barrett, Gordon Hayward, Mitchell Robinson, and Obi Toppin, that's probably playoff worthy in the Eastern Conference. Do they get past the first round? I don't know. Maybe if they get Utah Jazz Gordon Hayward, we'll have to wait and see. But I also wouldn't count out the fact that Boston can still bring Hayward back for less money in more years. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know, but I think the Celtics are very likely to get something in return for Gordon Hayward. I could see a sign and trade in play. But if you want to know what they end up doing with him or what they end up doing with any of their players or any of the respective free agents that they're going to go after, make sure you subscribe today to chatsports.com/CelticsTV. Also, you know what to do. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you don't miss any kind of videos we're putting out on our Celtics channel, breaking down all things draft, all things free agency, and all things trades. But let's stick with the free agency side of stuff. And Enes Kanter is one guy that isn't going to hit the open market as he had decided to opt in to his $5 million option, which in all honesty was probably the right move. And honestly, for the Celtics, might as well take it as you kind of have a bullpen effect of big men with guys like Vincent Poirier and Enes Kanter and Robert Williams and Grant Williams as well. And now you get Kanter back, who's a respected veteran in the league. He's a solid rebounder. He knows how to score the ball in the post, but you're never going to ask him to play much defense. And if you do, you're going to get burned because he's not a defensive center, and we all know that. But at 6'10", 250, he holds his weight in the middle as an offensive option, and he's good to have back in the rotation for the Boston Celtics. But with all the guys they have, who do you think Boston will start at center? But here's why I actually asked this question, because hint, hint, nudge, nudge, I don't think the starting center is on this Boston Celtics team right now. I think they're going to trade for someone very, very soon, and we'll have to see who that might be. But whoever it is, we're going to have it for you on our Boston Celtics channel. Now, one more Boston Celtic we're going to talk about is Brad Wanamaker. They declined his qualifying offer, which just simply makes him an unrestricted free agent. He will hit the open market now. Now, Wanamaker played in 71 games this past year with the Celtics, and he was a really solid and well-respected veteran in the locker room. And, he came off the bench behind Kemba Walker. He was fine. Doesn't do anything super well. He doesn't do anything real bad. He doesn't get burned on defense, but he also doesn't create that well for others. So, at the end of the day, I think this was a smart move to kind of just let him walk because there's a lot of guards on this Celtic team that need a lot of playing time and need more development outside of Brad Wanamaker. Of course, Kemba Walker. Look, he's going to get the bulk of the minutes as he deserves. Marcus Smart. Everybody loves Marcus Smart. I love Marcus Smart. He will get a lot of minutes as well. But then you got all the younger guys. Romeo Langford, Carson Edwards, and Javonte Green are all guards that didn't get a lot of minutes last year because Brad Wanamaker was taking a lot of them, and now we get a chance to see what they can do in Brad Stevens' system, and I'm excited to see a guy like Carson Edwards potentially take over that true backup point guard role. Now, remember, they also have Jaylen Brown. I didn't really include him in that because I think of him more of as a wing more than a guard. But I don't expect Brad Wanamaker back. Potentially they make some trades. Maybe he comes back eventually. But Javonte Green, Romeo Langford, Carson Edwards, I'd rather see them play than Brad Wanamaker. So I'm all about this move. Now, of course, the Celtics, being one of the most historic franchises in NBA history, if not the most historic franchise in NBA history, I want to ask you this question as I get out of here. Who is your favorite Boston Celtic of all time? If you made it this far in the video, you deserve to answer this question and have your voice heard in the comment section. So go ahead, scroll on down. Favorite Celtic ever? Let me know.